Okay.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit Tofesh Nun Hey Amot Kuf Peites. I put it up on the WhatsApp. You can see. You see it? Do you see it? Andy?
I'm sorry. In order to talk, I have to go to a different screen.
Oh, okay.
I have to come back to this. Okay, let's go. I'm just finding it. What? Oh, here, yeah.
See, so
Yeah. Okay, so it's from yesterday. Okay, yeah.
you see Kuf Peites? It says Amot Kuf Peites.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the middle of the page, Shor Maschas HaTorah al Har. It says, "V'inyan u'de'ina yadua de'esh beis defan be'urim." That's the point. The same idea we just learned the Kitzer in our Maimer, but here is a little bit baricha, so it's interesting to read it, to learn it. In the Yiddush, basically, find the two types of birurim. Aleph shadova mizbar mizdach mizbar me'at. That the dova mizbar, the thing that being refined and elevated, it's from the bottom, slowly, gradually. Beis shabir nasa the gila er shemer l'mayla shadezem mizbar me'mel. ביר עניין בייז מן הביר הנ"ל הוא דהנה מוצאים שיש בייז דייס חלוקס בדרכי השם האמיתיס באופן קרב האדם על הליכוס. Here it says much more about it. Two ways, basically two, it's a machlekes, there's chalukas, two opposing opinions, באופן הקרב האדם על הליכוס. ניסקה בספר שער הקדוש לרחב זו. And these two ways are mentioned in שער הקדוש לרחב. Remember, Tanya Perikalev, the first thing you bring, Mashkos Varachav B'Shar HaKadosh, which is an important safe, Chaim Vital. For the person is elevated, for the person is refined, Shafal HaKameroid, Negasas Chumri, because it's Gobkeit, Chom in the Taivas Chumri, Sechiyavi B'Bris, Vizkashas B'Los Hashem V'Spar B'Livet. So how can a person reach any state of spirals from Eibush? So the way to deal with it is by the Isagev Gufa. It's like I said yesterday, it's a Musar Shmuz. It's almost Isagev Gufa. Pashat break his body from the Sigub, Yagis Reitzaroshu, and getting against Bismama Nafshamarit. And getting bidal, gasusim, shvlusim, but this gopka, this low life. Viiga begets never, she gets both such as dacham mat. Oz yochal geshes lakoish dar belikuz moechasok. In other words, the rate to reach the state of connection to Eberster is through Yigia. Of course, mashal. I need to go from his dachal gamma. Echikov b'mum gamma lakoish sheli. As long as he didn't reach that stage, how can he get there? Mashikosim yala baravai v'yakum and the kichapayim avalivok. That only who can reach the Ebershtus mountain, only Kapayim means yes, clean hands. That his action should be all clean and clear of any evil. Means a full heart. But not only doesn't he act bad, he also clean of any foreign interest. I feel a behiro. Even thinking, anybody who's who's not clear and Mumbai, yes, Koshkan Shesh is a oven b'shek, Chatas Nurim, it is a Lavatala, is the logic of the Kodesh, Allah Basog, is the deal for the Kutz, as Maz, the Darba, the Kim Chaim. Kolasha Mumbai Loyot Rotze. Wow, quite a riches. How person is to recognize, it looks maybe it's a shtickle Derech Chaim, I don't know.
Wow, I never saw such an expression. Okay.
Yeah.
You're reading from the Kitzur?
What?
You're reading from the Kitzur? What are you reading?
No, I'm reading from. If you go online, if you go on the WhatsApp, yesterday I put up Tafresh Nun Hey, because in our Maimer, the Rebbe Rashab said, he said, the last few lines we just learned. Ein Mashakosum is the Masam Cholam Roin Tafresh Nun Hey. So I put up the Tafresh Nun Hey, page, what page is it? Kuf Peites, and I'm reading from there because it's interesting. It's avoided the stuff, musa, but it's nice, it's interesting to read. So I'm reading there in the middle of the page, Kuf Peites. Okay, what Shor Mascheles, Laka Kol Tzrotzen Zo. So ist die aber das, was Sache Gufe Bechumbe, Laka Kol Tzrotzen Zo, Saken Kol Begam, Ashab Devo Meise, Edeshi Ismarma, Benaf Shema Oida, Lagasses Bechumbrius, Shaloi, Vashal Zen, Zen Israchim Alikut, Vagoro Meshukats. Again, it's all very much a person digging within his own personality to discover all the negative traits, and he has very strong regret, and any evil deed that he moves entire interest. That is how slowly he refines himself. And shouldn't let himself up easy. He's going to take himself very seriously, and you always take the benefit of finding himself guilty. And even any the little thing that he did, which is as thin as a hair, should look to him like a mountain, like something negative. That's in the negative side. Also good things that he does. Even the good things he does, I should also contemplate how, and not all of them, even when he does good things, are not Hashem Shemayim. They're not all for the proper intent. Not because that's the truth. By they recognizing this, and they'll work very hard to repair that blemish. That's going to be his full occupation, davening and learning, to fix, to repair the evil, to elevate, to cleanse his body and his nafshativis. Similarly, even when he davens, what is he contemplating on? What is important to him, to elevate nafshabamis, to contemplate in every object in this world is a godly energy that gives it life, creates it. And good, all the is good. You have to click on top next. We're going to the next page now. Because of all this is to prove the toiv that is avoida. He has to realize that likus is good. And he thinks about it in a way that understands it well, and that will inspire his heart to be in the fiery law of the likus. That's one point. Then it says in tiny perek hey, that he elicits mercy on himself because Allah is filled. Not only that, in learning also. Okay, I'll explain later how it works. Even learning Torah, he says, what is he concentrating on? To repair the evil and to cleanse it. So, and also that there's stages. There's a gradual stage. Number one, first he takes care of the real evil, of the crude evil. Then he digs deeper, and he also concentrates on cleansing himself from dakasara, which means of subtle evil that he has within it. So that's one bill. Then there's another level of bill. Remember, in our mind, I just said it in 2 lines, but here is developing very much. The be'emes, but the Hagav says something interesting. But even bill now, what we just described now, the earlier bill, the way he goes milmata l'mayla, before the dakasara, especially when he deals with the subtle evil, double covered ma'od. It's very, very heavy. It's Chassidus usually the word kovid usually in normal, usually say kosher. Okay, that's the Chassidus uses sometimes lashon kovid, but it's very heavy. It's very hard. It's very hard. And it's impossible. Nobody can really, no living person can reach this level of biur. You think about it, who can reach that such a high level of cleanliness that he cleanses himself so that he can no was. Well, who? Okay, but now we're talking the yesh other biur. What's the oifen biur now? A totally different way. He tells himself like this: even though he doesn't deserve to be to ascend to the state of the higher state, because the guf his body is not really cleansed. Even his good actions are also not perfect, because it's not El Shem Shamayim. Everything he has some kind of pnir, he has some kind of ulterior motive. So he's not fully there. There's another way to deal with it. That's done when he just shines the godly light in his mind and in his heart above his capacity. That's another way. It's when he exposes himself, when he's concentrating in our mind, said it bekitzer, learning Torah. But here it talks about early key, but he much more barichas. Kanire bechush. I said something near bechush, something that we see with our own senses. The person feels the shining of the godly light in his heart and mind. Miyad ipa kol zumas v'chumis hagubayis hashot sh'asir dat agam. So that automatic, it's not like we said earlier that he concentrates habedis, etc. This is something else. He just lets the early key shine, and that automatically falls aside. It's not true that the chumra is the crudeness of the materialism of his body is interfering. That's only when his mind is not occupied with learning chassidus. Our calls man she'er Hashem naga b'libo u'meich v'ispas alikuz b'asagas hamukas lo yira klal. Ki Hashem imay the Eibush has with him ki him as doinag. Doinag is, I think, what is that? Doinag is like doinag means shaiv. What was the word? Wax. Looks like wax melts from heat. So the Lashon Pasuk came as Daina, Ken Yav Daivecha. So when he has that experience, all the evil just melts. So that bir is called bir milmayla lamata. The gam shemaitze satzim v'chol hapris v'chol davar ma'asav chanal. Even though he finds himself in a very low state, and all his actions and all his pets, he's not waiting to start learning accepting the early key until his body will be cleansed. He starts on the top. That comes to contemplating the greatness of the Eivishter in a very specific way. He invests his mind and heart in it. Means that he reaches a stage that this godly spark is settled in his mind and heart. Automatically all the evil will fall. So again, so if he's constantly doing it, so that also elevates and cleanses his body to his constant. He's doing things that is. It's a pattern of repetition. Every day, Gimel Tfiles, all the Tfiles, but the Romit is called Canal the Gamma Mater the Habachishach. He said earlier that Mater the Habachishach, Mishkosa Ma'at Mater Gershan Mipanecho. The pasuk says that I will take him away from his slowly. Shenigash v'nitcharap v'nasgirosh milmayla the Gila Erev Shemay v'nafsh. V'aynu Mashal Yidav Ashba'avoy the Baifin Gazeh B'dias v'asak Zakuz v'chol Yin. That's what it means. That to the ideas are sagas of the every topic. My being in the British, my eye in the part advantage was it's concentrating all the details of the Rebbe created the world, the Yeshma'ayin, opinion of Laz, the greatness of the Rebbe, the law of the same mitzad atzma, eiter la'im b'tachlise. Understands that well. Sheyuklat eiter v'im left. That concept is captured well in his mind and heart. So that can reach him to a place that the Ein Shach La'Lara is totally taken out of the evil side. Even inside this Nefesh Habamis. Shekos Adam Misalam Ma'ila Le'eni Yisa V'Mashatev Neshativ Eila Misachat Nefesh Halikis. The good part of the Nefesh Hativis united Nefesh Halikis, but the evil part is being pushed away. Shein Shach Zaklal. Any place is any experience he has, any place he stands, he's not interested in the materialism and the crudeness. He's only interested in the likus. That's a pasuk in the beginning of Pashas Nitzavim. Pasuk says, because the Abish is not with me, that's why I got all the evil things. So he says, Pshat, I'll see this in the Pasuk, means Klip is the Machshavas Trois and Midas. Mashma mizeh she'im oya lekai bekir b'moich v'lev. So it's an interesting diuk in the pasuk. If lekai was bekir b'moich v'lev, if the likus would overwhelm his heart and mind, ein mokem l'ra. זהו שכוסוף קירה אומר עוזר חסבי שעדי שאיזה יותר סבי עדי זה תהיה סחר סחר. If Oz v'chasavai it's ra omar, it's bad and bitter. Or boy, like even after Meichel Relieve. So this bonus is pashed our likil gam b'chelak hagash m'shebedam. So then the godless, the likus is nimshach even the physical part of his body. Nefesh achal asmali sheyata kol libe la'Hashem shnasa davar meila the gila early gish v'nafshe. Okay. So that I just want to learn this because in our Maimer it says,
wow,
much because of barichas of it, it's like quite barichas.
I only saw the physical Maimer like this, like a little bit.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. Let's see. But the marshal. What's interesting here? It doesn't bring the marshal in our Maimer. Brings this interesting marshal from a teacher. Remember, yes, we had a stickle issue with it. That the teacher sometimes, not that if a student is not capable, he just throws at him stuff that is not. It really goes on and on. I'm not going to learn the whole Maimer, but I want to see if he brings this marshal here. I don't see this marshal. We had a little hard time with that marshal because I don't know where we can see it in real life.
I missed the beginning of this. Which Maimer is this that you?
We're learning the Maimer in our Maimer. You see, in our Maimer, we just finished the Maimer. Few lines before the bottom of the Maimer, it says, "Va'ayin mashekosav mizeh b'divrei masrim chol ha'omro im reish nun hei." See this? So I just decided to read a few pages in Oishel and Hay, but there's a very long arichas. These two ways of birurim, the two ways of birur. Okay, all right. There's much more going on there, but I'm not going to not going to know that. Okay, now let's go. Let's do the kitsu. Okay, man, maybe you also learn the mind of the Rebbe. I don't know. I didn't.
Whatever. No, whatever. Just whatever.
Okay. Maybe we'll do it the later stage. Okay, let's go to the kitsu in our mind page. Let's go to page 29 in our mind. All right. Shabbos Miketz. Adlokas neres amigdash vader ze ner Shabbos elif neshkim. So ich glaube, mador der Chanuk mit Tzosser Tishkacham. That's the first statement in our mind. Inyan do kavana samat let's say matzilus yeshne kavana pnimis. The kavana pnimis in the Eibishter created atzilus. Va kavana pnimis in Nisav Sayesh. In atzilus in Noel. V'if shalem kavana b'shalom. Cannot say the kavana, the ultimate purpose of creation of that atzilus. B'shalom shayk shayk kol ba'ayin. Oy prinal yenis. Ba'ayin. ואי אפשר למה שכוונה בשביל ירידה. גם שהציל זה עניין הגילוי, ועצמס מובדל מהגילוי. עצמס הבוב גילוי. הכוונה בסבס היש, הכוונה הפנימי זה עצמס בסבס היש, ולכן ניסב באופן כזה, שנראה שאין מסתכל למקרה, כמו יש עמית. ויש עמית is like the יש הניברו, מה שאין כן, sorry. What is an avodah? Avodah b'krish b'avay echad mizbat mitzius. Was b'chinas yesh anivorim nasa b'chinas yesh amiti v'al der shift k'may shilos. So the ultimate purpose of creation is the gila that the yesh amiti is gal and the yesh anivo, and that we reach to the avay echad. The zel mekayim eshav terech l'sham. That's what it says of bo shemesh, which is the shkia. Mekayim eshav terech l'sham. Shakavon shebeshkia ose is the rachas. In the shkia is the zricha. The kamonas hatzim v'savas hayesh. כן, אז המלכוס אחר שבקה ספר שבנצל את הבריא, שזהו מן השקיע שנשקער, the creation of ביאס ומלכוס. אחר שבקה ספר, זאת נשקיע, ועוז נזריך שכמון הסעצת. זה הנה נר חנוכה, שתשקע חמה, נר חנוכה ונס המלכוס כמו שביאל, כי המצווה שנשקע חמה, נשקיע, הנה שמש הוואי. in the Ksiv, Plus it says that the same in Asher, but they're basically Russian. So the Kamelach has two understandings. Aleph Milmatal my loyim, Kinas Hamachas Vatsa, so to elevate Malchus and Atzos. Our base, the Amshach Nisram is Atzos. But in the Inner Melucha, I call Olavat. The Inner of Melucha is all like a name. My shame on them. Okay, Tzach Meloim, Kinas Hamachas. But there was a Matal my law. How do we reach the law to the Venezuela? They have a Prinasrat and that's our law. גם על ידי כפיס נפש הבאה משלוש מרס הצמצום בעולם השם אלוקים, לכן על ידי כפיס נפש הבאה מתראה מספרס המלכוס. So the law is, there's the law, either the law של אלוקים נפש הבאה. וזהו עניין נרס המנרס. So that was the עניין of נרס המנרס, נר הנשמה שחפת לבתים ולארץ למעלה, נר הווי, נר הנשמה. שחפת לארץ למעלה, just like the נר, רק נר דוס על למטה צריך סיוע מעל, ועד הנרס, needs help from Aaron, because it's Malubish, good Nefesh it needs help. In an adlok, Shilov Adne Bahavai. That's Shilov Adne Bahavai, Shamachas Ela Batzils. Lachin adlok with Mancha Shemesh Mer. But there's a near Shabbat, Shabbos Alias Machas Tatzils. Omnum Ner Chanukah, in Yon El Kavona Cheres. The Amshah himself, in Mile Mata, Less Acheshel de Biyah. Point of Chanukah is Less Acheshel de Biyah. Lachin is Vasam Nishtishka Chama. Mitzvah Chanukah is Mishtishka Chama. Zeo Shazmanu Ad Kala Yul Hamadoi. So that is the Indian of Kali Yul Hamadoi. Talmud Eises Meredes, Kmo Meredes Habaylo. The Talmud's name is Merida. The Indian Knes Solnika Koish and Plikibu Kabachad Milyonim Yainam Samech. The Knesses are called the Koish. They are like a cup, a receptacle to Kabul mile chasodim the yain. Azel kshodam bitl akshokin is kli mole. Miltzain is living is in the state of kli mole. So his own interest as a kli mole sheina mas. Then he's not mas. Right? So my uman amakapatish last sklit just like a uman, just like the partisan hits with a hammer the metal. Don't the kli in the live in the Lord in the rishba. Gam mishudako dako. Even a person means a person doesn't need it. He's in a good place. So Stephen bifnim when you cash out some motor. There's a nasib kines kebelach is sight. That then he becomes a kli. Avla merela shein a kli kabel. Ve'im laktim eitzim. That's that. Sakim b'shuk. Eight. What eight? The what eight is Iberic. הנה סטור דפות, זהו, שני חנקות ואני חפש אותם בעצם בחוץ, זה צריך חנקות בחוץ, לאבא שצריך ושצרבים, עד כאלה ונדוי, שגם המרד, אבל כנס פלס הנפש. Even the מרד will become in the state of קלי, פלס הנפש. זהו, זה עושה שכך חמה, לעם שגם נסוף ויגש, שבשקיעוס יעזריך, וזה דווקא ניעץ ונמשך אינסוף. That is the general point of this mind. Okay, let's go back to the next mind. Okay, we'll start a new moment now. What time is it? Okay. Kuf you test. Vigash elav Yehuda. Story says, the beginning of Vigash elav Yehuda. Yehuda came over to Yosef. Hine, misipar hagoshas Yehuda li Yosef. The story the Torah tells us about the Yehuda approached Yosef. Move on. Shagosha be'etzem uvdo achosh. That approach is an important event, an important occurrence. When came moving, Yosef Gavoy Yehuda. So when Yehuda approaches Yosef, it basically means that Yosef is above Yehuda and Yehuda approaches. Cheno be'emes, and that's we find in reality. Yosef Gavoy Yehuda. Yosef is a higher level than Yehuda. Yosef Gavoy Yehuda. Yosef was higher than the rest of the Shvatim, including Yehuda. The Shvatim, what does Shvatim mean? The word Shvatim is a remes, like it says in Koich V'Deshavim, which we call in modern language Halley's Comet. It's a comet that it's a star that moves. So Shavit means that it moves. Which move means it's like an expression, extension. Shevet is also like a branch.
Shooting star, no?
What?
Shooting stars that they like shooting. They're just
shooting star, right?
fast.
Shooting stars. That means that when the star shoots, it leaves a path. So that path is compared to a branch. Similar to branches come out of the body of the trunk of the tree. So the shvatim are compared to branches that extend from the body of the tree. This Yair Biyah, the Shvatim descent in the world of Biyah, and there Nasach Nes Makov, then there's a state of Makov. Yosef, Mashenkin Yosef, a Gufa Deilon of that Tzilus. He's the body, these the essence of Meilus. So we see here that Yosef is higher than the Shvatim. So all this is explained in Torah, in Torah, without Torah Sefer Torah, Parshas Vayechi. And they surface, and they surface, Parshas Vayechi, the Maimer, and the beer of the Maimer, Ani Nasat El Choshem Achad Al Achecha, Yaakov told Yosef, Ani Nasat El Choshem Achad Al Achecha. So the beer of that Maimer explains the mile of Yosef over the Shvat. Okay, okay, now he's going to develop it much more. ידוע שיש הפרש גדול בין אצילוס שבביאה לעצם אצילוס. the Shvatim was the Amshach of Atzilus and Biyah, like we just said. The Anafim of Atzilus that are Nimshach Biyah. And Yosef is the Atzilus itself. The Yesh Efesh Godel, Atzilus Shebiyah Lexam Atzilus. There's a huge difference between the Madreg of Atzilus Shebiyah and Atzilus itself. The Atzilus Shebiyah or Orlevat. The Atzilus Biyah is Orlevat. It's only an extension. Because what part of Atzilus reaches Biyah, not the Atzim, is not the essence, only Ha'or. Agam Ha'or. Kumeshi Ba'atzilus. In the word missing, it looks like. On the bottom, he has a few Atzilus. Ain't a dame, ain't a bech, ain't a dame like Kumeshi Biyah. Even the Ha'or, the way it's in that stamp, he adds another question. In Atzilus Gufa, there's the Atzilus itself, and there's the Ha'or. So the way the Ha'or is within Atzilus, it's not Shalei Be'er to the way it is in the Biyah. Hol Oil. Okay, so it brings a simple, obvious thing. Hol Oil. Anytime a light gets further away from its source, it becomes less refined. Misabe means it becomes more thick. It means basically more magush. The marshal that is when a teacher teaches a student an idea, even in a state when the makabel, when the student does not change the idea, the idea stays the same. Still, I mean, there can be a situation that the makabel mashana. In other words, the makabel, the student is such a low grade that the teacher has to change the idea in order that the student should be able to understand it. But he says, even in the case when even that's not the case, ain't a mashana. That the student is a high enough level.
Not that the teacher has to change hashpah. The makabel himself, some makabel is getting it in the day, some makabel has to in his mind. Right?
Yeah. He says makabel in shanash. In other words, in the mind of the makabel, it's not changed. It's stayed because the teacher, the student is on a high level that when he receives what the teacher teaches him, he can get it the same. He gets the same idea that the teacher has because he's a high level student. Even then, even that case, even in a case when the student is not like very low state, he's in a state that he can understand what the teacher teaches him. It's still not the same way it's in the teacher's mind. So that's interesting, Marshall. So, like you said, it's an interesting deal. Why is he talking about the macabre? So similarly, similar, every light, every extension, the further it gets away, it gets less, it has less strength, it loses its strength. Especially, we can say the same thing, especially that idea applies to the Yachas of Atzilus and Biyah. The ultimate extension and escape of the oil, these galas, the relation outside of Kaviyachol, outside of Atzmus, outside of the Eiveshter, the Libiyah is only when it reaches Biyah, when the oils of Atzilus reach Biyah, then it's the ultimate, they really stay out of themselves. The Atzilus are called Atzmus. Relative to Biyah, anything that happens in Atzilus, it's still called Eira Kol B'Atzmus, because Atzilus is still a very simple term. What is Atzilus? Atzilus means the Eivish, let's say Chesed Atzilus. It's the Eivish that's Chesed. Atzilus is not really an Oilam, it's not a Nivo, it's not a separate being. It's still a Likus. B'meileh, it can be called. It's quite a sharp. We hardly ever find such expressions, but he calls it Eira Kol B'Atzmus. that wow. It's Atzilus means it's all it's still within himself, within the likus. When Shekosa Makam Acher, and it brings a lie from what it says in other places, which Beinin Ata Vailevadecha. There's a pasuk says we saying davening Ata Vailevadecha. That's in Shemaim. They be saying davening at the pasuk in Nehemiah, I think, not Nehemiah, in R'Dovid. So Ata Vailevadecha says pshat, but the Avai Prince Atzilus is Adain Levadecha, K'moshe Levadehu, K'moshe Hu Levadehu. Atzilus is Hu Levadehu. It's still within the Eibush himself. Beetle that tells when it's beetle the Yehudei. Another point, which is the same point made, that the beetle in Atzilus, the way this verse of Atzilus relate to the source, is Yehudei law, which means Shekeinu b'cholos Atzilus, a beetle the Ulav Adiu v'Einzelos. So Atzilus, relative to the worlds below it, is in a state of all of Adehu. It's only Lekus. It's kol. Everything is kol in the Eibush. Mash English, but then with the next step, when the earth Atzilus reaches Biyah, Shanas Merkava, and it's called in Biyah, and the Elam Abri, the Merkava V'Chesku, that's Elam Abri. So, which means it's already a Merkava.
Yeshayahu was in Elam Abriya, I think.
What?
Yeshayahu.
Yeah, sometimes
was in
Shai is in
Elam
Bria and Cheskel is in Yitzir. Yeah, sometimes it says Shai is in Bria and Cheskel is in Yitzir. Two madrigas in Merkava. So, but here it doesn't. It's not Mechal Bria and Yitzir. It says relative to Atzilus, Merkava. Merkava means it's a separate. It's a vehicle. What is Merkava? Merkava means it's a separate being. It's an outside being which it's a vehicle that carries within it wherever it's in the vehicle. So it's a different being. Because the aura, the way it reaches Atzilus, becomes more thick, so to speak. And it's in a way of it's captured and it's captured and included. Which the most important point is that it's more removed. Yosef, Gam Ksher Ba'olam, Oipnes Makov, Olam Babaloim, then Shayat Matil. See Yosef. What's the deal with Yosef? He's a Yosef. Who he is the Elon? He's the Etzem Matil. He's not the Spashtus. Gam Ksher Ba'olam, even when he was in a state in this world in Elam Hazer, Oipnes Makov, Olam Babaloim. All of a sudden, here it's talking about Makov as a mile. Interesting. It's a different level of Makov. I think it's not. At this point, is not Mechalik to Makov. Yosef was in a way Shalom Babel. That the world, that the reality didn't interfere. Why didn't they show you Etzem Atzilus? Because Yosef is not just the Spashtus, the Etzem Atzilus. Shemov the Berach Biyah, which is Bichlal and different level in Biyah. Lachei Lo Yelam Babel. Vayishmel of Mitzrayim. He was able to be a king. I mean, Sgan Melech. At the same time, he was able to be Makavalikus. That's what Chassidus explains. That the Shvatim were shepherds. When you're a shepherd, you don't have to deal with the entire with civilization, so to speak. You don't have to be invested like a king. If they would be busy with being involved and with Olam, with the world around them, then the world would interfere. That's why they have to be in a state of Isbaidus. They have to be separate. So we got into interesting. He jumped right into Again, to summarize, he said till now, he started talking about that Agoshas Yehuda shows that Yosef was above Yehuda. Yosef was above the Shvatim. So to explain this concept,
The Ovis were in the same level of Yosef.
what?
The Ovis. The Ovis.
The Ovis, no, but the Ovis also Yeroid son. The Ovis is a different madrig. Because Yosef Yachas to the Ovis, that's we learned it in the Maimer in also not Vayesh in Tafish Ein Aleph. Ovis Yachas to Yosef. Yeah, I think Ovis are the same madrig as yes. Yes, Yeroid son. That's a different explanation. But within the Shvatim, Yosef is the highest. That's the point he's making here. Because Yosef is Etzem Atzilus, not just his pashtus. Areisha Yosef Ma'al Mashvatim. Atzilus Gufo, and when in Atzilus Gufo, the Yosef and Shvatim, the way they're in the source in Atzilus, Ashvatim plus Machas the Atzilus, Yosef and the Sisay. Then there's another way to explain the way Yosef and the Shvatim are within Atzilus. But the way it's within Atzilus, Yosef is Yisoid, and the Shvatim are Malchus. Which because of Eila Teilis Yaakov Yosef, says in Pasuk, Eila Teilis Yaakov Yosef, it says in Zoya, Vav Rava Vav Zeira, that Yaakov and Yosef, like the Vav Rava Vav means the big Vav, Vav Zeira, small Vav, and the Tiferes Yisoid, Yaakov is Tiferes, and Yosef is Yisoid. And then even a state higher in the way the sherish of Yosef and the Shvatim.
What's Vav Rabbe and Vav Zera? What's that?
That's what the Zohar says. Okay, you want to look it up more? 1 second. I'll look it up. 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. Okay, so. Okay. Let's see. The Chodesh. No. Huh? What's that? One second. Huh? Hmm? One second. I guess I have to do more research on this. One second. Okay. So, second. Hmm? Huh? Sorry. Okay, here you go. No. No, I mean, I can't find it. I see that. Okay, I just see. I'll have to do some more research on this. I guess it says in Kabbalah that Yaakov is Vav Rav. Yaakov is the, there's Isis in Isis and Sefer Torah. Some letters in Sefer Torah are big. There's Isis Ravavon, Isis Zeir, Asvan Ravavon, Asvan Zeir, and Asvan Beinani. Most of the letters in the Sefer Torah is Asvan Beinani. There's some Isis like the
Yaakov is having a vote.
It's not the Vav. Vav it's the concept. It's not the Vav itself. The concept. Yaakov represents the Vav Aravava, and Yosef is Vav Zeir. Tiferes v'Yisod. That's what it says. But now I have to look up more exactly what it says in the sources. But the point is making here that Yosef is Yisod. Like I said, I'll try to find more better sources. Similar also in the shiur of Yosef and Shvatim in Madriga fact, the shiur Shvatim who Pchinas Malchus Daak, shiur of the Shvatim is in Madriga of Malchus Daak, Yosef is Yisod Daak. Yosef is above Malchus, Yisod Daak. Shehu, what is Yisod Daak? Shehu Pchinas Atzmas Daak. Yosef, Yisod is sometimes called Atzmas. Meshikosu, B'likat Torah, da alam tzech l'shmis minis. Because the Torah, Parshas Tazria, alam tzech l'shmis explains that the madriga of Yisod Da'ak is called Atzmasak. This is why Yosef is the ultimate biur of everything, all the nitzutzes, the biur nitzutzes to Yosef. Shekosov, Pasuk says in Parshas Vayeshev, והנה ססובן העלומי סייכם ותשתחוון על העלמוסי. That העלומי סייכם is the alumis of the Shvatim, the stalks of the Shvatim. Not the stalks, what do you call it? The alum means the bunches of tvor. תשתחוון על העלמוסי. What? The bundles, the bundles. So it's another, it says in Kabbalah that Yosef is Yisod Da'ak shezeo melech hashmini hadar sheresh hatikun. It's another concept in Kabbalah that we learned that there's this in the text the Zayin Malchim Kadmoin in the end of Parshas Vayishta. There's 7 Malchei Edom, then there's the 8th one, which is called Hadar sheresh hatikun. That's the 7th, the 8th one. That what? That's the madriga of Yosef. The Zayin Malchin in Pchinas Malchus Daak. V'Shvat Pchinas Malchus Daak. In Pchinas Shteim Ban Mizbar. So the Malchus Daak and the Shvatim, which is Shteim Ban. That's Mizbar. That's the Zayin Malachim from Toyu that we have to Mizbar. Shenkin Yosef Yisod Daak Shteim Ma Mizbar. Rishi Yosef Ulamayla Meshvat. Okay. So he brought another shot, another mocker in Kabbalah. Yosef is above the Shvatim. The first thing he said, Atzilus versus Biyah. Then he said, in Atzilus Gufa, it's Yisod versus Malchus. Then he took us to a higher level in Ak. There's the Yisod, the Ak, and the Malchus, which is the Ma and the Ban. So Yosef is the Matrig of Ma.
Melech Shmini is Yisod.
That's what it says.
It's Malchus, no?
No, Melech, the Zayin Malachim, that's what you just said. The Zayin Malachim, because Malchus. Yosef is Yisoid, which is the Melech Hashmini. Melech Hashmini is Yisoid. According to that's what it says in Kabbalah. So it's a concept in Kabbalah. Like I said, there's the seven Malachim of Adam. There's a Melech Hashmini. Hadar.
So Shmini is higher.
Yeah, of course, he's the higher. It's Sheresh HaTikun. Shmini means matalman. There's another remez how Yosef is higher than the Shvat. The Yehuda Bifrat. Now he goes into more. It's until now we talk about Yosef versus the Shvatim. Now I talk more specifically Yehuda. Yehuda is also a remez of something which is higher, lower than Yosef. Why? Yehuda Bifrat brings Malchus. Yehuda is the madrig of Malchus. Mishakos apam Eide Savai. The pasuk says the Yehuda was called apam Eide Savai. Yehuda the prince Heido. Heido means is a level of beetle, which is Malchus. Yosef a prince Yisoid zo. Mashenkin Yosef is Yisoid. Yehuda is Malchus and Yosef is Yisoid. So we have another. So he gets until now he spoke about the Yachas of Shvatim to Yosef. Within the Shvatim Gufa Yehuda specifically is Malchus. Afal became, but now we take the opposite. Afal became L'osid Nema. What is it saying? The Psukim the After of Vigash. What's it going to be L'osid? What's it going to be in the future? When Mashiach comes. R'Dovid Avdi Nasi Aleim. The Nasi Aleim. David HaMelech will be the king. Nasi will be the what is the word translation of Nasi? I'm not sure. He's going to be the prince, whatever. This way to translate. He's going to be the leader. R'Dovid Olidort. David Olidort. So finally, we got to the question. Okay, so there's all arichas in the mind. He's supposed to spend the whole arichas discussing. Really, Yosef is higher than Yehuda for the various reasons, but then we came all of a sudden, we say, La'asid, David is going to be, Yehuda is going to be higher. He's going to be the leader. We have to understand how does it fit that Yehuda is going to be higher, that Yehuda is going to be higher than Yosef. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.